My name is Andrew Kretschmar with SEIU Healthcare Illinois, Indiana. I've come before this committee many times over the years on issues pertaining to our state's long-term care system, our long-term care delivery system. Given the testimony that we've heard last week, the marathon 4-hour meeting, committee hearing, and what we're going to hear today, I'm going to try and just keep my remarks very brief, so the committee can have ample time to ask questions of the panels. So what we know is that for quite a long time, we've been dealing with many of the same issues that we heard about last Wednesday, that we're hearing again today, whether it's staffing, quality care, overall industry funding, workforce development, et cetera. There are a number of issues that we as a state and all of us need to address together. So I think that's really important, because I don't want us to get focused on just one thing, because there are just so many things. I mean, everything that Ms. Thompson just talked about, there are so many things in there that we need to address, and all stakeholders involved need to provide input. But unlike in years past, we need to take action, but again, in a thoughtful approach. So I would just ask the legislature, give some consideration and some thought to, what is really the solution, and obviously stakeholders, the industry, the workforce, advocates, the department, et cetera, come together, and instead of approaching the issues that we heard about over hours now of testimony with a one-off solution, and if it becomes a one-off solution where we may go too far in one direction or not far, we should just give some serious consideration to everything we're hearing, everything we're talking about. I listened to all the questions from last week. I think every single question was a thoughtful question, and frankly, I think it led to even more questions. But I, for one, someone who's been around this issue for the better part of, I think, 7-8 years now, I think this is encouraging, because I think we all benefit from a quality long-term care system, and that means nursing homes, the entity. That means the workforce. That means those that are cared for, the families of those that are cared for. It's a holistic approach that I think we need to do better. And so, I don't think anyone is suggesting that we get something done by the end of May, because that would be rushed. But what I do think we should do is continue this conversation, and hopefully it can lead to something long-term where everybody feels good about moving forward. My last remark will be on really focusing on Ms. Thompson. Advocating for the workforce for the last handful of years, and residents of long-term care facilities prior to that, in a previous role, I feel like it's taken a global pandemic to really shine a light on the amazing things that the nursing home workforce does. And so all those things that Ms. Thompson talked about, and Lori from AARP alluded to this in the beginning, they existed before, they exist now, and they existed at the height of the pandemic, and we're it looks like we're turning a corner on the pandemic. So these are issues that are not going away, but we have taken several different approaches over the last decade now. And we can argue they've been implemented with varying different results. So I would plead that we take a very thoughtful approach to a long-term solution that benefits everybody, because it's just time. It's time to deal with this stuff, time to deal with it in a fair, respectful, and compassionate way.